What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, and the movie I'm going to take a look at right now is El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Now, this one comes from Netflix. It is written and directed by the Breaking Bad creator, Vince Gilligan, and this one stars Aaron Paul as his character, Jesse Pinkman, as we pick up right after we left off in the last episode of Breaking Bad. He is escaping the last kind of event that happened in Breaking Bad. Walter White is elsewhere, and he drove off in an El Camino car, really distraught, and we pick up right at that moment, and he's trying to escape the cops and really kind of lay low so he can find enough money to eventually escape, go hide out somewhere, and live the rest of his life. That is what we're dealing with. So, just real quick, there was a comment made on my Marriage Story review that said, review starts at this time. So I have a feeling that person did not like the fact that I had 2 to 3 minutes of padding about my experience with the trailers and just the lead up to the review, and it kind of made him angry, so it made me think about that, and I'm not going to change anything about that. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my my Breaking Bad kind of lead up here. I think Breaking Bad is one of the best shows of all time. I watched the last season live with everyone else. I loved going to work each week and having that water cooler conversation. Be like, "Oh man, would you catch the episode? What do you think is going to happen?" Just everything about it. It was such a great conversation to be a part of. I watched seasons 1 through 5, season 1 through season 5, part 1, or 5A, whatever they called it, and I watched that within like 2 weeks. And it was great. I went to work, came home, watched like 3 or 4 episodes, went to bed, and just repeated that cycle for 2 weeks. And I wanted to catch up and watch it with the rest of everyone else. And it's one of my favorites. And I always knew in the back of my mind, like, what would happen to Jesse after he left that final thing with him and Walter. I've been curious, and so I'm glad that they finally made a movie. To kind of give us this nice little epilogue of this story. Did we really need a movie? No, but I'm selfish and I like anything Breaking Bad, so give it to me. So my experience with the show, since I think it's one of the best of all time, I don't think there's any weak episodes whatsoever, and the episodes range from good to great. That's it. That's my range for it. It's a great show. So when people are going to be reviewing this movie, they're going to say it's like a blank episode of the show. Good, bad, weak, whatever. And that's perfectly fine. I mean, a lot of movies based on television shows, people are going to kind of start the review like that. So I'm going to go ahead and be basic and do the same thing. I think El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, is a good episode of Breaking Bad. So that was my range. It's either good or great. I think it's a good episode of Breaking Bad. I think what Vince Gilligan does is something not a lot of people can do, which is after a show ends, which seems like 20 years ago, he was able to make a movie that brings us back into this world, this grimy underbelly of crystal meth making and drugs, crime, people trying to hide away from the cops, and having all set in this kind of like grounded New Mexico reality that we can see happening in our own backyard. He slips us right back into this world, and we follow Jesse as if we never missed him. And that's what's so great about that, is he was able to bring the atmosphere of Breaking Bad back to us right off the bat. Vince Gilligan is also really great at dialogue. He's also really great at setting up a scene and building the tension and just kind of letting it swell within the scene before the climax or whatever, the pop or whatever it is happening at the end of the scene. He knows how to do that, and he makes your palms sweat. He makes your heart beat, and you feel nervous for these characters who are basically just trying to hide from people, or like it's a showdown between two people and just with dialogue or whatever. It's very, very minimalistic filmmaking, but it's so expertly done because he knows how to craft tension, fear, anxiety, and all that within the characters and the people that are watching these people go through all this kind of hellish situations. He knows how to do that, so he directs it very nicely. It's written really well. It's once again, Aaron Paul slips back into the role of Jesse Pinkman as if he never left it. He's great in the movie. There's a lot of times where you feel like he is broken. He is a man down at the bottom of his life pit, and he doesn't know where to go except go up. And so he tries to climb out of this hole that he had dug himself in, and he's trying to escape and live a better life. Walter may or may not be in the picture. I'm skating by just in case if you haven't seen the show. Walter may or may not be in the picture anymore. He's kind of by himself. He has friends around him, but he wants to go be his own person. He does not want to be controlled by anyone anymore or follow orders. He wants to be an independent being. And so he tries to do that and tries to make right by killing the people that wronged him, taking money that he believes is his, and just trying to start a new life. And Aaron Paul does that in spades. It's such a great character for him. He knows how to act his butt off. Simple as that. The music is really great. It's shot really well. I love the way that Vince Gilligan presents this type of show, whether it be Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad or even this movie. The cinematography is could be very basic. You can have people in a conversation and do the over-the-shoulder shot and just flip back and forth, but he has this interesting eye where he'll have Jesse walk into a room or go to the floor and try to get the floorboards off, and the camera turns, and it's an interesting way to see that character complete that task. So it's just unique. It keeps the eye entertained as you are watching these characters in these situations. It's just a fun way to look at the movie. I have two minor complaints about the movie. One is selfish, and the other one is just, it doesn't even hinder my grade. It's just something I wanted to bring up. The selfish one is that after watching this movie, I wanted to see more Breaking Bad. And I'm like, we're never going to get any more episodes. It's that's the problem with doing stuff like this, is that you bring it back into the public conscience. And we're like, man, I want more of this. And it's this ain't going to be anymore. This is it. This is the end of the story. Could you do something following Jesse Pinkman? Sure. I don't want it to, though. Just let it end. I have only seen 2 episodes of Better Call Saul, but that's a prequel, so you can pretty much do whatever you want leading up to the points in Breaking Bad, so that's not a problem. But anything continuing on, be done with it. But I am selfishly telling you that I want more, just because I am in love with this show and these characters and the decisions that they make, because they're mostly wrong, but you know that they're good people, and you're like, they're just trying to make a better life for themselves. I'm like, but you're doing about it the wrong way. It's a fun show to watch. And it's really well done. It's really well crafted. So selfishly, I want more after watching this movie. The second thing, which is probably my only complaint about the movie, it's a movie, and so it has this kind of sheen on it. It's very clean to look at. It's shot, I'm assuming Netflix probably put a lot of money into this, so it's got a lot of film cameras and stuff. It looks very polished. That's what I'm trying to say. What I like about the TV show is that TV is shot differently. It's got, a different frame rate to it, and it just, I don't know, when you watch Breaking Bad, the show, it has this grit to it. It has the sweat and the grime from the characters, the heat from the New Mexico sun. Everything about it just has this really lived in atmosphere, and it's really great to watch on television, because it just looks like real people going through real situations, almost like a documentary. But it's got that, that bite to it. And this one the movie does kind of lose that, just because it's a film. It's a lot cleaner. It's more polished. And so I wish it kind of had that TV look to it. But once again, semantics, folks. It's a good movie. And I would give El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, a B. So, there's really nothing more to say. If you were a fan of the show, check it out. It's a nice epilogue to kind of end the series and his storyline. I was pleased. I think you will be pleased too. I think at the bare minimum, you might just think it's okay. I don't think anyone is going to think it's horrid or anything. It's I in my opinion, I think it's good. So I was pleased with the conclusion. So what did you guys think of El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie? Let me know down below. And that will do it for this review, guys. I am Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.